Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Faye Mac. Thank you very much for all the love on my previous videos. I really appreciate it. Today I'm actually going to be talking about a very interesting topic. It's about how to choose the right school to come to in Canada. By school in this case I mean university or college for either maybe an undergraduate program or a graduate program. I got a request from a viewer to do a video about this, and it's going to be regarding a specific program which can actually just be applied to any program you'd like to take anyway. I've divided this into two categories. I'm going to be talking about specialty programs as well as general or more popular programs. So if you like this kind of content, please be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll be sure to do more videos like this for you. Thank you very much again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Okay, let's get right into the video. For the popular program, I'm going to be sticking to accounting, for example. For the specialty program, I'll be using public relations, for example. Okay, so for you, you would typically know where the program you're interested in actually falls, whether it's a popular program or whether it's a specialty program that you might not find in so many different institutions. Now, for the popular programs, for example, accounting, economics, and so on, you actually want to select a province first. So this entails actually conducting some research. You need to conduct research so that you can actually know as much as possible about the provinces you're trying to go to. Now, I say that because there's a very wide range of, cost of living within Canada. In one city, it might be pretty affordable to live. In another city, it can be really expensive to live. Okay, so the research regarding the provinces actually requires you to go online, of course, and search. You cannot escape this. You can't skip it. You need to do the research. Now, Canada has 13 different provinces and territories. Now, in these different provinces, like I said, things vary widely. So you want to make sure that you actually find out how life is in these places. As you may know, half of the population in Canada is actually based in Ontario. So if you're looking for a place that has more people, that gives you more of a Lagos or big city vibe, then you want to definitely be maybe in Ontario or in Alberta or British Columbia. Those are the three more popular, also Quebec, I would say, Montreal, more popular provinces that people typically go to. Now, there are others like Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Saskatchewan. That gets me all the time, Saskatchewan. Okay, so anyway, there's so many different options to choose from, so you have to take the time to do the research, and that's why I'm doing this video. I'm going to be showing you some of the things that I actually look out for when picking out provinces. On this one, for example, I'm actually going to be looking basically on Kijiji. So this is kijiji.ca. I'll leave the link in the description box below. We basically just go on there and search per province. So search by the province, to look at the cost of rent in these provinces. So that way you kind of get an idea of how things are. Obviously, it would still vary by city, but it gives you a rough idea about how the cost of living is in general. So here you can see that I'm actually scrolling and looking at places in Alberta. You can scroll down and you see that it's actually not even that bad. It's one of the pretty affordable places for accommodation in Canada. That's something that I envy about our people living in Alberta compared to, Ontario or British Columbia. It's really affordable to live there. Now, this one, you can see that, I'm looking at Ontario. Ontario is pretty expensive, as you can see. But of course, Ontario is huge, right? So where in Ontario are we looking at? Depending on the city, the rent would vary widely. You cannot compare the rent in Toronto to the rent in, for example, Windsor, which is very affordable. Windsor, Ontario is affordable. Toronto is not affordable, but they're in the same province. So this is something you really have to consider. The cost of living is very important. I focused on accommodation just because that's usually your biggest bill. So whether it's rent or mortgage, that's your biggest bill of the month on a typical month, right? So you want to make sure that you get a place that you can afford and you live in a province that you can afford. Next thing you want to consider is actually the minimum wage in the province that you're looking at. Now, if you just do a quick Google search like this, you're going to see that The different provinces and territories in Canada actually have different minimum wage amounts. One can be $10, another can be $15. It depends on the province, okay? So if you're looking to actually work while you're in school, that might be something that you want to consider as well. Just to make sure that you actually earn enough money to be able to afford living here, right? Even though you're coming with your savings, you still don't want to spend all your savings. Remember, you want to save, save, save. You don't want to actually spend. You don't want to spend your savings. You want to save and work for your upkeep. Or you spend your savings on your upkeep and actually save your salary. Whichever one works for you. Just make sure you're making money and you're actually gaining Canadian experience while you're in school. Very important. I said that in my previous video. Go click and watch if you're an international student or trying to become an international student. Very important tips there for you. Okay, so of course the next thing you want to consider is actually job opportunities for the different provinces. Different provinces have different rates of job opportunities, and some of them are richer in certain fields than others. So you want to consider the kind of job opportunities that are in the provinces that you're looking at. At this point, I expect you to have narrowed down your provinces based on the previous criteria. So maybe now you have only 3 or 2 provinces that you're looking at. You want to make sure that you actually know the kind of the specific province that's going to give you more opportunities for the program that you're actually coming to study. Now, to do this, it's very easy. All you need to do is go on, for example, indeed.ca. You can easily search for your field and the province. So for example, what I'm doing right now, searching for engineering jobs in Alberta. I can see that there's so many different opportunities in Alberta, but I can also search in Ontario to see the opportunities that are there as well. So all you have to do is just go on these websites and you're going to be able to see the number of job opportunities or job postings in these fields. Now keep in mind that these are uncertain times, so of course there are not as many opportunities right now, so please don't be swayed by that. Usually they're like ×3, ×4, ×5 of the number of opportunities you're seeing right now. This is just a temporary situation and things will definitely get back to normal. So at this point, now you're ready to actually go and look at the schools that you're going to apply to. This is the time that you now search for the schools in those provinces that you've selected and actually look at requirements. Now, one thing that you actually want to consider during this is during the search for your school is actually ranking. Some people care about ranking, some people don't. Of course, if you go to a prestigious top 5 school, you're very likely to get a job right off the bat because it comes with a lot of prestige and all of that. But even if you don't go to a top 5 school or a high ranking school, you're still going to be fine. Now you can actually search for the ranking of your school. I personally don't care much about ranking at this point because of my experience here. I feel like all the schools in Canada, most of them are publicly funded. They're very regulated, so they're pretty much on similar wavelengths with regards to the standard of education. So as somebody coming in as an international student who might actually be on a budget, I wouldn't worry too much about ranking. But if you actually have the budget and you have the extra money to spare, then of course go ahead and have a look at the ranking of the different schools and look at the ones you would be interested in. Okay, so while narrowing down the school to go to, you want to find out when the schools actually take admission intakes. Okay, so want to make sure that you identify the schools that are taking students for the period you'd like to come to Canada. Most schools, if not all schools, take students in September. Okay, some of them will still take students in January, while a few of them would actually take students in the summer. So if you're looking to come in September, you know that of course your options are open. You have as many options as possible. If you're looking to come in January, you want to find the schools that actually take people in January for the program you're trying to come to. Next thing you want to consider is tuition and the requirements. Okay, tuition and requirements. It's very important to know exactly how much you're going to be looking to spend, because this has it's very well, I don't need to tell you how important money is, but money business is very important. You need to make sure that you can actually afford to take the program you're trying to take, and you need to be able to prove that to the visa officer. I'll shed more light on that when it's time to talk about the study visa and how to go about applying for that. That's probably going to be in my next few videos. Please stay tuned for those. Next thing you want to consider is review. So go ahead, go online, just search the school and the program and I'm sure you're going to find reviews about the school and the program at the school. Okay, so some schools are actually stronger in sciences, in medicine, some are stronger in engineering, some are stronger in arts. So just make sure that the school you're choosing is actually strong in the program that you're going to. Okay, so you can find these reviews online just about the school in general as well. Some schools have small classes that would be, better for you if you like a one-on-one relationship with your professors, while some are pretty big with bigger classes that actually you might end up feeling like just a number. So just find this out and make sure that you make your decision based on that. Okay, so at this point I expect that you've narrowed down your universities and colleges that you're looking to apply to. It's a stressful process putting a quality application together. So you want to make sure that you're not just applying to 10 different universities and colleges. It's expensive. Expect to spend at least $150 per application. So of course you want to narrow it down to just a couple, 3, 4 maximum universities to apply to, and hopefully your application is airtight. I'm going to be dropping some videos about the best way to actually go about putting an application for a university. So stay tuned for that, and it will be coming right through. Okay, for specialty programs, all of this may not apply to you. Why? Because some of these programs are offered in just very few institutions. For example, a Master of Public Relations degree is only offered in one school in Canada. So once you search Master of Public Relations, you don't have a choice. You're going to Nova Scotia. Unless you'd like to do a more, something like corporate communications, then you can look at Ontario. But if you're looking for specific programs, you may not have a choice, and so you won't really have to bother with the research about choosing provinces. You just have to research the specific province that the program is offered in and go for it. So for specialty programs, they might be offered in actually just a couple of different provinces. So you're not going to spend too much time trying to decide which province to go to because it's already narrowed down for you. So just do the research on those provinces. Make sure that the jobs are actually in demand. If they're not in demand, make sure that you have a unique selling proposition so that you can easily switch into different fields if you have to and actually transfer your skills. Next thing you want to do is make sure that the program qualifies you for a postgraduate work permit. The link is in the description box below. Check the DLI number to make sure that it actually qualifies you for a postgraduate work permit. Very important if you plan to stay back. Next thing is to just check the eligibility criteria for the program you're trying to take. Usually for the specialty programs, they want you to have work experience in that field or at least have a bachelor's degree in the field. But either way, make sure that you check out the eligibility criteria to see what your chances are. Okay, so there you have it. I hope this video has been very helpful. That is how to select the school to come to in Canada, whether it's a college, university, for whatever type of degree, it still applies. So please make sure that you like this video if you enjoyed it, share and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.